What's up, everybody, and thank you for listening to Mastering the Mindset. My name is Dariusdotch, and I'm an actor, hip-hop artist, and fitness and life coach. And I'm here to personally help you train and improve your mindset so that you can, 1, become the best version of yourself mentally, and 2, gain focus and motivation to be able to take action and achieve the success in life that you want and deserve. Before we get started, please like and subscribe to my channel, and at the end of this episode, if you liked it, please share it with a friend or a loved one or someone who would benefit from hearing this message. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm ready to go on this journey with you, and that journey begins now. All right, and welcome back to another episode. Thank you so much for being here. If you are listening on a podcast platform, I would love it if you could leave me a review. That really helps me out, as well as if you're listening to me on YouTube, please like and subscribe to my channel. Also, if you're on YouTube, I apologize because right now you're not seeing any video. I was having some technical difficulties, which I will have fixed by the time the next episode comes out. So unfortunately, you only get audio and not visual. But the message is still important, and the message is still the same. And let's go ahead and jump right in. Today, let's talk about the contrast of the human experience of life. And we're going to talk about how we need to make sure that we're not going through life in this mediocre so-so area, this middle of the pack spectrum, that kind of energy, right? In any aspect of our lives. And I'm going to tell you what I mean by that in a second. But first, I'm going to talk about this podcast I was listening to the other day. It was an interview between Ed Milet, who was a life coach I follow, and he was talking with this dude by the name of Colin O'Brady. And Colin O'Brady is a very strong person. Now, I'm not talking about muscles, but mentally. Well, actually, he actually is physically strong. He's done a whole lot of physical challenges, broken all kind of world records and stuff. But the thing that's most fascinating to me about him is he is the first man to trek across the Antarctica. And when I say trek, I mean trek. He did this unassisted, meaning he didn't have no vehicle, no dogs, no snowmobile. He packed up all his food and supplies for about 60 days, and he pushed his own sled across Antarctica. Can you imagine? Not only the physical challenges from having to push a sled and being in the extreme cold weather, right? Doing something that nobody has ever done. And on top of that, the mental challenge. Being alone for 60 days, having to keep yourself in the right mental space to even want to continue to stay in the game, stay consistent at doing something that you don't even know if you can do. You don't even know if you will survive. That took a really strong mental effort, 60 days. And it made me think about my physical journey, which is way less extreme. But one of the things I've been doing lately, as of the past 3 years, is I've been running outside a lot. Obviously, it's not ideal during this time of year, although I have been tempted because it has been warm, right? For those of you who are not in Minnesota, it's unusually warm here in January. It's like mid-30s up to low 40s, I think, which is unheard of. Usually, it's at the very least below freezing. It's usually bitter cold, and it's my least favorite time of the year. It's just cold and dark, and it's below zero a lot. And right now, we hardly have any snow, which is crazy. Anyway, I've been running outside. It's part of my workout plan. I try to go to the gym 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And on Tuesday or Thursday, I go for a run around the lake. And look, if you knew the old me, the way I hated running, like that was never an option for me. That long distance running, nope. My lower back always get tight. I feel like it takes too long, right? And depending on where you're running, the ground might not be absorbent enough and your shins start to hurt, shin splints, and it just feels like it never ends. And before, I would only run like a mile and then be done. Now, I'm running almost 2 miles each time. The lake by my house is about 1.8 miles. And listen, the lower back pain, still there. My muscles still get tight. My lungs hurt because I'm tired as hell. It also has a few hills I have to run up, and one of those hills is a monster. Like, it is long. It's not an extreme incline, but it's long. I've had to guess, I would say it's about 150 to 200 yards long, which makes that run even harder. And as many times that I done ran that lake, it never gets easier. Well, it never gets easy. I'll say that. It never gets easy. And every single time I get to a certain point around the lake and my mind wants to stop, and it makes my body hurt even more. And I think if I just stop for 5 seconds, just 5 seconds, it ain't that big of a deal. It ain't that big of a difference to your workout. It's just 5 seconds. And every time I have to dig deep. I have to remind myself that, hey, you've done this before, that it's moments like this that's going to help me achieve my goals in life. It's moments like this that are going to help me achieve my goals in life. Because if I decide to stop every time something gets hard, how in the world will I ever do it on a larger scale with something that's truly important, with a challenge that's way tougher than this? At least this challenge is self-inflicted. I chose to come out here and run. But what's going to happen if I'm just living my life, trying to build the life I want, and then things happen that's not in my control? What am I going to do then? And I have to dig deep mentally to just keep running, right? And I think to myself that if I could just keep putting one foot in front of the other, I'll eventually get there, just one after another. And on those days it's really hard to make it around, I have to count. I have to count each step up to 20. I break it down every 20 strides. 1, 2, 3, all the way to 20, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, that's 20, 20 more. 1, all the way to 20. And boom. And I keep going, breaking it down mentally into 20 stride chunks. And I don't stop running. I just keep on counting to 20. And by doing it this way, it makes me only have to pay attention to what's going on in front of me. I'm not looking at how far I got to go to make it all the way around. I'm not thinking about where I am compared to where I have to get to. Only the next 20 steps in front of me. And you already know where I'm going with this. This applies to several areas of life. I talk about that a lot on here all the time. Breaking your goals down or breaking your tasks down into smaller, more manageable steps. And hearing Colin O'Brady talk, it really reminded me that it's important to be able to tap into your mental capability. And he was talking about if you were thinking about your life and every aspect of your life on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being the worst, your health, your relationships, your business, your career, whatever it may be. He says if you don't have any 1s in any aspect of your life, you can't ever have 10s. But we're so afraid of the 1s that we live life in the 5s every single day. And look, I don't know about you, but I'm not interested in no damn 5. Okay, that's lukewarm. That is average. And why are we choosing to live in the 5s? Just because we're afraid of the 1s. Even when the 1s don't necessarily mean that it's this devastating blow or that it lasts forever. The 1s could be something that we know ain't gonna kill us, and it's over and done with as soon as it happens, and we're still afraid of it. We can't be too afraid to just call our shot and go after something because we're afraid, right? And we build up this story in our heads that we could potentially, quote unquote, fail. And when we fail, that's going to be that one of those dreaded 1s. Because what we do is, if we fail at something, we make it mean we suck. We make it mean that everybody's judging us. We make it mean that we're not capable. We're not worthy. We make it this conditional thing that we're a failure. But the reality of it is, those 1s are fleeting. They don't last forever. You got to have the option and the experience of having to fail or misstep so you have the opportunities to bounce back to get a 10. Because we know life can just deal you 1s. You don't even have to do it yourself. 1s get dealt to you every now and then. And you may or may not believe that everything happens for a reason. I personally do. But one thing I think we can all agree on is that no matter what happens, we have the option of creating that meaning behind it. We get to determine the meaning out of any experience that happens. And we do. As humans, we are meaning creating beings. We do it all the time. We make things that happen to us mean something. And what I want you to take away from this episode, or one of the things that I want you to take away, is that if you're at a 1 season right now, or even if you're having a 1 moment at some point in your day or some point in the future, recognize that this is a requirement to have that 1 to be able to have the contrast of the 10. That when you look back to where you used to be, when you have those moments of reflection, when you overcame something that was really, really hard, that high, that contrast is so much more enjoyable. It's higher than it would be if you never got low. Now, maybe you're dealing with death. Maybe you're dealing with financial hardships. Maybe you're dealing with relationship and love challenges. Your career might be in a dark place. Just remember that it's temporary. That it's going to take some real mental strength to get you through it. That no matter what, you can always lean on yourself. Even when you don't think you can make it. You know that you have been through some hard times, some dark times, and you made it through that. And back then, you probably wasn't even focusing on trying to use it to strengthen you. It just made you stronger. You look back and say, damn, I done came a long way. Damn, I don't know how I got through that. Damn, I'm a better person because I went through that. So imagine how it's going to feel if you make a conscious decision to actively work on yourself during these moments right now, to allow it to strengthen you mentally, to push through it, even when nobody else knows your struggle. Because we all been there, right? Sometimes you go through things mentally that you can't even explain it properly. Your explanation and the way you put it into words, it don't even do it justice. And when you make it to the top, when you make it through to the other side, you're going to be at that 10. And I don't ever wish a 1 on anybody, okay? But there is a power in recognizing that when you're in that one moment or in a one season, understanding that you will get out of it. Now, it might not feel like you will, but you will get that 10. And if you change your perspective while you're going through it, that 10 is going to be much higher because there's always things we can learn from the ones. Life deals you ones. Sometimes you have to actually allow yourself the opportunity to have the potential to get a 1. And that means calling your shot, doing something where you don't know what the outcome is going to be. Maybe you're afraid of failure, which probably means you're afraid of people watching you fail, thinking that that's going to mean something about you, or that the way they will think about you is going to change. But if you ain't willing to risk having a 1, you're going to risk going through life living at a 5, right? And we pretend that we're okay with that. We pretend we do. But I know that you're not okay with that because you don't listen to a podcast called Mastering the Mindset if you think, I'm good. I think I want to just live life at a 5. This is nice. I'm okay having a so-so marriage, so-so health, kind of sort of going after my dream, but only when it's convenient, when I feel like it. No. And look, I'm not telling you that you have to have this huge fire lit inside you and that you need to be this productive machine and just get it done every single day of your life. That ain't realistic. That's not what life is about. Life is about the contrast. If you have some areas in your life that you don't feel good about, these are the 5 areas. Any day could be that day you decide to do something about it. You can change things. You don't need to wait for a new year or your next big birthday to make a change. Again, recognize that the 1s are required to get the 10s. That the journey you're on, it ain't this smooth ride with no bumps. That it's actually a roller coaster. And you can get to a place mentally where you can just buckle up and embrace the ride. Don't be so terrified of having a 1 that you'll never risk anything, right? You'll never put yourself out there. You'll never ask that person out. You'll never buy that plane ticket and go to that place and be in the room with those people you need to be in. You'll never actually try and grow that business. You'll never make that investment on yourself. You'll never find a better career. You won't have the full experience of life. And who wants to get to the end of it all and be like, well, I never got close to my dreams. I never got to experience what I truly wanted. But hey, I didn't feel any pain. I didn't fail. No, you want to get there and be like, whew, now that was a ride. I really did that. I really made it through that. And I had some amazing moments and I had some extreme lows, but that was a hell of a ride. I showed up. So if you're in that 1 season, maybe you have to just look down, take it 20 steps at a time, 1 step at a time. Just put 1 foot in front of the other and worry about that next step, that next important one, the most important one. You can't make it to the top without taking that next step in front of you. You can't skip the steps. You can't. To get to wherever you're going, if you're at a 1, to get away from that 1, you're going to have to take steps. So why not take them in the best way possible? On to the next, on to the next. We can't focus on the steps way down the road. Whatever season that may be headed your way, that incline, that cliff, what if you just focused on what's right in front of you? Don't be too focused on the fear of the 1 and only live in the 5s. So that's what I got for you today. Like I always say, thank you so much for being here. Please share this podcast and tag me when you do. I would love it if you can leave a review on whatever podcast platform you're on. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. And this is a donation-driven podcast. All donations are welcome and much needed. Thank you so much, and let's ride out. You know, they say words can kill. They selling crack on the corner. I grew up like this, and if a picture is worth 1,000 of them. They selling crack on the corner. God bless the artist. I grew up like this. Picture me perfect. What they talking, I'm already perfect. I do it on purpose. Yeah. Call her what you want, I don't got service. She callin' too much, just see me in person. Girl, bye. I like my phone dry. I never been thirsty. Ain't seen me in a while. I'm probably working. Going hard for my last name. Trying to make it a brand name. It's Dotch. And I'm lit all summer long. I don't need no ashtray. I don't need no ashtray. But who am I to tell another man how to make his own money? It's getting dark out here. You don't wanna walk out here. Minimum wage, it ain't no jobs out there. No. Niggas standing on the corner. Cocaine, marijuana. And life is all about choices. You only get what you born with and your two shoulders. With the weight of a boulder, the crime rate boiling over. My classmates look like soldiers, cause they got them army guns. Your life looking way different, like you was born with glaucoma. Cause you don't see that Nah. If the system fail him, a convicted felon, or the police kill him, what you tell him when he a kid? Who influenced by crack? You can ask my big brother Cal about that. My big brother Al about that. And these was my role models. And them niggas had that crack. Wanna smoke weed just like them. 13 years old, like yeah, could pass that sack. Break it down, roll it up, smoke it up. First time smoke it, I choke it up. My father was there when growing up, but my happy home was broken up. Mama said, fuck it, we moving out. Yeah, she'd rather be broke as fuck. Try to be the man, not old enough. I give my pop some props. No, he didn't do everything right. Still, he was always in my life. We ain't never have to worry about no lights. When your best friends wanna ball out like globetrotters, they looking up to they role models who selling crack with no problem. That's why whenever your mama said, when that street light come on, your ass better be home, cause they selling crack on the corner. I grew up like this. They selling crack on the corner. I grew up like this. Yeah. They selling crack, they selling crack. He selling crack and she using it. His family ain't cool with it. Her family got used to it. He got a bird and he flew with it. He know just what to do with it. Take it straight to the kitchen. On the stove making stew with it. Ain't no money in the classroom, so he dropped out of school with it. The bad schools get the worst teachers and they don't know what to do with it. He gets labeled by society. Yeah, they call him a hooligan, cause they think we all animals and the cops are the zookeepers. I wish I could fly, cause I would say bye, I'm going to Jupiter. I'm way too close, I done got numb, I done got used to it. We murder the most, all this death, all these funerals. Cause they got beef and keeping it hot like aluminum. Trying to get closer to Jesus, I wanna pray in Jerusalem. I see the devil influence us, I think the devil recruiting us. I'm trying to get closer to Jesus, I wanna pray in Jerusalem. I see the devil influence us, I think the devil recruiting us. I'm trying to get close, I'm trying to get close. I pour some liquor for all my dead ones, let's make a toast. I don't want ice, I don't want coke, I'm trying to get through. I'm here today, but tomorrow I could be a ghost, so let's do the most. My favorite rapper talk about dope, he got them O's. Sometimes I wonder if he know, or if he don't, that the youth is who he influenced the most. Look how they boast, Instagram and Facebook posts, they think it's a joke. I think about when I was a teen, 13 years old. He lived across the street, that was my dog, that was my woe. His big brother was like my brother, he selling dope. His brother was a hood nigga, had a mouth full of gold. His brother got in a fight, showed the hood he ain't no. He won that fight, you fucking right, you better let him know. But they had a revolver, and not a revolving door. And he let that revolver blow, was hard to see him go. He won that fight, but lost his life. We got the call later that night, and my heart hit the floor. I was scared to go to the funeral, mama made me go. Was scared to see him cry, he couldn't keep it dry. I just wanted us to fly, so we could be closer to Jesus. I wanna pray in Jerusalem, I see the devil influence us. I think the devil recruiting us. I'm trying to get closer to Jesus, I wanna pray in Jerusalem. I see the devil influence us. I think the devil recruiting us, cause they selling crack on the corner. I grew up like this. They selling crack on the corner. I grew up like this. Yeah, they selling crack. They selling crack.